On y va. C'est par là, je pense. Waouh! Un trou noir. C'est vraiment... D'accord. Oh! Bien, pof. Il faut que j'invoque...
Everyone, look! From here, you can see the most spectacular view of Dreamflux Reef.
Le bastion fluidique. Moi, je passe un trou noir.
A black hole? No. An accretion disk formed from consolidated memoria? Was Dreamflux Reef built on such unstable memoria?
Oh, so Mr. Yang is also versed in memoria dynamics. I was just trying to figure out...
On peut continuer, là. Je vois maman et Nico. Oui, il y a des trucs. Non, je ferai ça plus tard.
I'm just a wallflower.
Look! There she is!
Non, mon coffre. Voilà, je veux pas parler à Percy, je veux parler à... Kame.
My calculations are finally done. In another 10 system hours, the above dream will swallow the dream below. Who are you all, and why haven't you left yet? This place is about to disappear.
Ah bon?
I'm Kami, a dreamscape surveyor specializing in memoria dynamics. And this, see that huge gaping hole? It was just a narrow rift many years ago, but now it's grown into a giant hole. The surrounding memoria has been flowing towards the other end of the hole at a constant velocity. But the scary part is, according to my calculations, the flow rate of memoria has recently changed, and it's faster than ever before. It's almost as if something is sucking it in from the other side. By constantly improving upon Madame Rosalina's memoria measurement method, I've finally obtained accurate results. After 10 system hours, the Dreamflux Reef will cease to exist. Just like the melting of glaciers, everything will crumble and disintegrate. The dreams on that side...
Please don't worry. This sort of thing has happened many times before. Miss Kami isn't a bad person. She's just a bit... lost in her own world. She'll probably realize she's wrong soon enough.
You don't say. There was a...
Oh, do you know her too? Or are you also a fan of memoria dynamics?
We're very interested in Madame Rosalina's achievements. Could you...
Why, of course! She's an excellent scholar of memoria dynamics, and the first person to apply memoria. Regrettably, due to the presence of the Garden of Recollection, ordinary people don't pay much attention to the nature of memoria. I came to Penacony to learn more about my idol, and went to great lengths to seek out Dreamflux Reef, all because this is her final resting place. I felt it. The source is in the golden hour. There is a certain anomalous presence stirring the currents of the memory zone. I must uncover...
Does the name Madame Rosalina sound familiar to you? That's right. It seems like she did a great deal of research and calculations in Dreamflux Reef before abruptly passing away.
Je tiens à dire quand même que quand on en a parlé, c'était vraiment au début et moi je me rappelle plus.
Miss Kami regularly mentions her. I hear Madame Rosalina passed away during the prison war. She could see the Penacony of today. Its people, building...
Toi.
Our destination is the commercial district. That's where the largest crowds gather in Dreamflux Reef. We might be able to find the others there.
qui chante? Toi? Ah. Quel besoin de me pour trouver les... Et tu fais ici, quoi? Oui, tu veux. Bon, j'ai vu Marche.
Let me go!
Please, come to your senses. I'm begging you.
Ghost! There's a ghost! Don't come near me!
Qu'est-ce que tu as fait, Marche?
Oh my. I'm human and so are you. Can you... Mr. Yang and Mr. Trailblazer, I've been waiting for you. Quickly, come help. I bumped into a member of the family on the way here.
Let me go! Let me go! I've only done good in my life!
Well, this is how it turned out. Ha ha, you're a regular comedian.
J'aime bien. J'aime bien des trucs comme ça. Putain, ça passe. C'est drôle.
He thinks he's dead. Although, when I first fell in, I also thought the same.
Dear guest, this is not the afterlife. This is
That's right. Did you hear that? Repeat after me. Dream, flux, wreath.
You're talking to someone invisible. If I'm not dead, what am I? I shouldn't have pushed my luck and tried sleeping in my dream. Stop asking! You'll alert the monsters! All the dead are right here. All of them!
J'allais dire, la personne elle a tué personne. La bestiole a tué la personne ici. Peut-être qu'elle a tué des gens.
You're not talking about the...
Don't say that name! It's all your fault.
He passed out. His intense negative emotions attracted the nearby members.
I see. But why aren't...
Unlike in the Sweet Dream, people here don't see Memory Zone memes as dangerous monsters. And even if they pose a threat, people can easily escape by forcing a wake-up call. But we can't just leave this man here. Can we take him...
Non, laissons-le là.
We can ask Jessie for help. I've gotten to know many locals while waiting for you guys. Everyone here is living a self-sufficient life. I don't know how to describe it, but this place feels like the real dreamscape.
D'accord.
No! At this rate, the family will be done for! Done for!
Je suis plus ici. C'est qui que je dois aller? Et Nico, elle est où?
Let's see how you handle a stroke of genius like this.
Maman et Nico, elle est où?
Evening, Jessie. Is it evening?
Welcome, Miss March. Who might these be?
These two are my friends. As for the man lying on the ground, he's a scaredy cat who fainted from...
I see. Another poor guy who accidentally ended up here. There have been a lot of new faces lately. Things must be tough in the beautiful dream. The few remaining havens of freedom and Asda...
Do such things often happen here?
Not really, but they're becoming more frequent now. Guess it's one of the signs of the Sweet Dreams collapse. This man has had quite the shock. Could you help me find a Halovian lady, March? Her songs can heal mental wounds.
A Halovian lady?
That must be Robin. She's also...
Huh? Robin? But I thought she... Oh, right.
Micha is about to take us to her to find out what happened. But before that, let's meet up with Himiko.
We met some
stowaways in the residential area. Most of them came from... I heard that places like Dreamflux Reef are scattered throughout the memory zone of Asdana, like islands in the ocean. I also heard that when Dreamflux Reef took shape, it was the center of all dreamscapes in Penacony.
If that's true, it's no wonder there are so many similarities.
Himeko must be gathering information. Let's hurry up.
Oui, d'ailleurs, Micha, il est où? Est-ce qu'il est avec nous? Bon, c'est pas grave, on s'en fout, Micha. Maman, elle m'écoeure. Elle est là-bas.
This is where we split up. She can't be too far away.
Maman.
So that's how it is. I never imagined we'd gather the remaining...
To borrow Gallagher's catchphrase, what an unpredictable twist of fate.
Himeko, here they are.
Ah, perfect timing. Now that everyone's here, I'd like to introduce everyone to Micha, who's partly in charge of the land of the exiles. Micha, these are my companions.
Micha.
It's a pleasure to meet the nameless.
Ouais, t'approches pas trop d'elle, toi.
You know us?
I've been keeping an eye on you since the day you arrived in Penacony. We would have met under more appropriate circumstances if Dreamflux Reef hadn't been isolated from the 12 dreamscapes.
D'accord, donc en fait on a un stalker qui nous regarde. D'accord, ok.
Please, allow me to formally introduce myself. I'm Micha, the Gravekeeper of Dreamflux Reef.
Gravekeeper?
Life in Dreamflux Reef is pretty liberating. Everyone here mostly keeps to themselves, without meddling in others' affairs. My daily task involves cleaning a few tombstones.
You're too modest, Micha. When lost dream chasers stumble upon this place, you're the one who takes care of them, guiding them back to the sweet dream. Or
So, guardian of sort.
Were you talking to me, Mr. Yang?
On that note, Mr. Micha, which tombstones are you referring to?
They're actually just symbolic stones. But since you're curious, Mr. Yang, I'll take you there. I have a feeling you might... but before that, you have an important guest joining you.
Qui?
An important guest? Who could it be?
This way, please. The roads here in Dreamflux Reef are a bit run down, so watch your step.
I remember when this place was...
Non, c'est bien. On retourne au même endroit. D'accord, je la vois. Mais je descends comment en fait? Oh, je descends! J'ai perdu? Ah, c'est pas grave.
This trash can is...
Oui, je sais, t'aimes ta poupée.
There she is.
It really is her! Miss Ro...
Everyone sang so wonderfully. It's not often that I tried this music style, but I've gained some valuable insights from it.
Parce que là, c'est la vraie. Après, oui, c'est peut-être la vraie. Je
Oh,
pense.
I can't thank you enough, Robin. Well, these kids have made incredible progress in only a few days.
It was nothing, Grace. I
Yes.
merely taught them how to sing. It was you who brought hope into their lives.
Elle est trop belle.
Life must be quite difficult for them in reality, I imagine.
That's right.
Whenever it's time to say goodbye to these kids, they're reluctant to leave. But I've explored every corner of...
It seems you truly are a child of the harm. Emma and Andy are orphans I took under my wing. Carol there, with her blind eyes, used to work at a nutrition center in the outer ring of Penacony. And as for Gary, he's been living with autism since he was a child. If we compare people to birds, these kids are like fledglings with impairment. And me, an old lady with no legs. Well, without this dream,
I'm glad that you found a new life here in Penacony.
Don't worry, Robin. Dreams have their significance, but they aren't everything. Both the but you know what? Emma and Gary aren't plagued by their insecurities anymore. No, and Carol is learning how to cope with her. You see, in dreams, we learn how to live. Once we return to reality.
And should our feathers be damaged, then we share our wings with one another. There's no need to covet an illusory sky in dreams, because we have the right and the ability.
It's a relief to see you safe and sound, Miss Robin.
It's nice to see you all again, Astral Express crew. I heard my disappearance caused quite the commotion out there. I'm really sorry about that.
Since you're here, can we...
Ever since I returned to Penacony, my voice started to change, until it gradually faded away. At first, I thought it was a temper, but now it seems the root of the problem goes way beyond me. There are elements around me that don't align with the harmony.
Sweet dreams collapse. That memo keeper mentioned the same thing.
While I was away from Penacony, the boundaries of the 12 dreamscapes kept expanding outward. But whenever I mentioned the anomalies in my dreams, the family heads refused to talk about it. Later, I discovered the secret letters from the IPC ambassador, which further convinced me that there are hidden secrets beneath the surface of Penacony. The land of the exiles, concealed by the family under the guise of death. A dream within a dream, where Penacony's past is buried.
Hearing you speak, it sounds as if your voice has made somewhat of a recovery.
I hate to admit it, but the harmony in this place resonates more broadly than within the sweet dream. It's regrettable, but the family has experienced betrayal. The traitor, or traitors, abandoned their original principles and, using the name of harmony, this is not the strong defending the weak, but rather the strong exploiting the weak. A world without equality won't ever be favored by the harmony.
Could there be another force influencing the family's shift in philosophy, Miss Robin? Considering what happened with Acheron, it's difficult to conceive of another entity within the realm of the harmony capable of influencing everyone.
I'd heard about what happened to the Cienjo Alliance, but as far as I'm aware, the family hasn't faced any such external interventions. Regardless, I cannot accept my home is moving towards the very opposite of what the harmony represents. I must uncover the reason why Mikhail cut ties with the family, and who exactly it was who betrayed us all. I've decided to forgo my role, and never step foot on the Charmony Festival stage again.
Look here, brother. A little bird.
Looks like a fledgling Charmony dove, but Charmony doves don't live here. So, how did this little bird get here?
It looks weak and frail. Why don't we find something soft and make a nest?
This place is too dangerous for a fledgling. Let's take it with us. We can put it on the wooden shelf in front of your window.
Okay. A bird like that must have a beautiful...
I'll ask the family head to build a cage for it.
A cage? But then it won't have the freak...
Let's see. What is it that has captured the attention of the two best and... Oh, poor little thing.
I do. But I don't want to lock it up in a...
Why?
Even if it's small and not fully feathered, and can't sing, it didn't come into this world just to be birds. They should be flying free.
That's quite the romantic idea. And what about you? A young...
I think she's right. But if we leave it out in the wild, it won't survive.
Ah, I see. It seems our little scholar is still a bit As you probably know, Charmony doves can fly through the air. When they fly really high, The friction caused by the flapping of the... We've seen this spectacle so many times that we think it's just something they can naturally... Their ancestors were too weak to survive on the ground. So, after countless attempts by many generations, one of them finally figured out how to...
So, you mean birds aren't born to fly?
Well, that's an idealistic way of putting it. So...
I think people believe birds are meant to fly because they've never seen those birds crash.
That's an interesting perspective. So, have you...
For now, I'll keep it in a cage until I want it to live.
Well said, kids. It seems each of you has found your own answer.
We will take good care of it, won't we?
Yeah, but Mr. Gopherwood, there's one thing I don't...
And what might that be?
What if this little Charmony dove never learns to fly in the end? I mean, if there are fledglings in this world that can never fly throughout, should we let them go back to the sky? Only to see them crash.
Talking in your sleep, birdie? Time to wake up. Need a hand?
I'm still alive?
Yeah. Happy about that.
Je veux trop qu'il soit jouable. Je veux trop qu'il soit jouable. Je veux jouer.
Where is Robin? Tell me. Now.
I knew that was going to be the first thing you'd ask. Don't worry, your sister is here, safe and sound. She's... If I were you, I'd be more worried about myself. After all, right in front of you is the guy who just stabbed you in the chest with a dagger.
If you wanted to kill me, you wouldn't give me the chance to speak. Just tell me your demands, lackey of the watchmaker.
So, you figured out who I am, huh? No wonder you had the guts to go against the Dream Master and the Four Families. Looks like I made the right
choice.
You are aware of my plan and see through my act. Time is running out, so let's... I'm suggesting we cooperate.
Attends, ouais. Fixiologie, d'accord.
Cooperate? What makes you think I'd cooperate with you?
The fact that the famous Robin has chosen my side. Plus, some clues about a traitor and a bright future for Penacony. Any of that catch your interest?
C'est pas toi le traître?
I find it hard to believe a man who's full of deception.
Fine. You don't have to trust me. What you should trust is... the sense of justice inside of you.
Si beau ça devait. Mon petit poulet.
Show me Robin first.
All right, as you wish.
Huh? Non, c'est pas Robin, ça c'est Lucien.
What's your trick this time?
Just kidding. I mean, this lady will lead us to Robin.
And the crew, too. There are too many people who you owe.
That'd be great. Please follow me, Honorable Oak Family Head. Now, all the actors are on the stage.
Un peu plus tard. Encore? C'est vrai. Des tombes. Oui, pas de nom sur celle-là.
This is the monument I mentioned earlier. The names inscribed on it.
Rosalina and...
When Penacony was known as a frontier prison, it was the Trailblazers who connected it with the stars. They were the heroes who saved Asdana, and their names deserve to be immortalized. Not just on this small stone tablet, but in the annals of history for all of time. However, today, the planet of festivities is nothing but sweet dreams. That heavy piece of history is all a distant memory.
If their names are inscribed here, then that means...
According to Micha, they died long ago.
Ils sont morts il y a longtemps.
Rosalina was killed during the War of Independence. She ventured alone into the heart of the star system to investigate the flow of Memoria, but Tiernan was a skilled gunslinger, strong and reliable. He led the people through countless battles. In the decade following the war, Penacony faced challenges internal and external. To protect Asdana,
Though I had expected as much, the tales of these heroes...
True to the title of Trailblazer, they spent their lives venturing into the unknown. But what about this tab?
When Dreamflux Reef was created, its owner was still alive. However, he insisted on erecting a monument for himself. Here we meet again. Everyone from the Astral Express.
Ah, c'est bien.
Robin.
Comment ça? Hey! Ah! Ah, maintenant? Demande à Gallagher ce qui se passe. On peut pas parler. Putain, y a tout le monde là. On peut pas parler aux autres. Ils sont où les autres là? On peut pas parler aux gens. Oh, si!
Brother...
There's no need for words. You're safe.
D'accord, c'est juste pour dire ça. Je tiens juste à rappeler qu'il y avait Emiko et Welt. Et là, ils sont partis. Et il y a un coffre là-bas! Mince! C'est pas grave. Bon, on va parler à toi. Bon!
I promised to give the siblings some privacy, so let's talk about our business first. What do you say?
That sounds sensible enough. Since you went through the trouble of gathering the family head, the crew, and the Stellaron hunters, I'm guessing...
Oh? Is it that obvious?
The look on your face is practically screaming, I'm the one behind all this.
You're right, Mr. Yang. It is indeed time to come clean. The siblings already know what they need to, and they've made their choice. But you, Nameless, arrived a bit late. So it's only fair that I answer your questions. Before we begin, let me reintroduce myself. I'm the founder of Dreamflux Reef, the deputy of the Watchmaker, and the one who sent out that invitation.
Oui, n'oublie pas de préciser que t'as 13 ans.
As Gallagher, the history fictionologist, I humbly extend my greetings to you all.
History fictionologist?
Well, don't worry. Almost everything I shared was true. Well, except for the part about the family accepting me back.
I double-checked with Micha, and everything he said about the family, the Watchmaker, and Mikhail is true.
D'accord, donc c'est vrai.
Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get down to business. I'm sure you're all wondering why I went through the trouble of setting up this battle for the legacy, inviting different factions and stirring up a ruck. Well, it all boils down to something very familiar to all of you. The Stellaron.
Stellaron. Stellaron, oui.
The Stellaron? But how is that possible? Penacony is a free-flowing interstellar hub. There are no signs of contamination whatsoever.
You're totally correct. So, care to take a guess at what that means?
Attendez, je mets mes lunettes. Attends. Non, c'est quoi, je vais répondre encore au pif. Hein.
How keen. Well, what should I say? I expected nothing less from the person here who is the sweet dream doesn't come out of thin air. If you think of the memory zone as the sea, creating the land of the dreams is like to achieve this feat without the help of an emanator of remembrance or enigma. And that's not something you can achieve with a simple wish. It requires vast quantities of knowledge. In Azdana, the planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster.
The planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster?
It all started a long time ago, back when the Watchmaker and his crew liberated the frontier prison. They faced countless challenges as they began building Penacony from the ground up. That's when the idea of using the Stellaron came into play. The Stellaron first entered the Azdana system during the war. The Nameless warned everyone against the folly of attempting to tamper with. The turning point came after Tiernan's death. With two of the Nameless gone, the Watchmaker had to go to the front lines. It was at that moment his rivals saw an opportunity. By the time a representative from the Montour system's family arrived at the Watchmaker's call, the Stellaron had already been activated and was seeping into the primordial synesthesia dreamscape.
And I suppose the family happened to possess the knowledge to seal the Stellaron?
Not just that. They knew far more about the Stellaron than the average person. They helped Mikhail swiftly quell the civil unrest and played a part in building Penacony under the disguise of the Harmony. Those three eras were known as the Age of Dreaming. The Watchmaker, who had been left in the dark, sent out invitations across the universe, spreading the hype around the land of the dreams.
Then, how did they turn against each other?
Remember the island in the ocean metaphor? The truth is, the Stellaron was never truly sealed. It existed in a different form within the dreamscape. Think about this. What would its people's lives? The opulent dream is built upon the decay of spirits, with a toxic elixir called pleasure flowing through confusion, laziness, and cowardice. Weaknesses that plague humanity were magnified and nourished by the family. Penacony became a new kind of prison, even more impenetrable than the previous one. Sadly, we realized this far too late. By then, the family had a firm grip on Penacony, swiftly quelling any at my wit's end. I had to use the power of the Enigmata, and sought refuge in this chaotic realm. Dormancy. That's its real name. We exploited a loophole. You see, regular people can't fall asleep again.
So this is the true meaning of the impossible. You sent out invitations in the Watchmaker's name to find forces capable of resolving the Stellaron disaster and draw them into Penacony to uncover the truth.
It's not just that. Above all, I wanted to see what happens when the major factions engage.
So, the legacy is just a facade.
If you want to consider the Stellaron as the legacy...
If that's the case, where is the Stellaron now?
That's a question for Mr. Wings. The Stellaron is still under the family's control, and as the head of the Oak family, I'm sure he holds all the answers.
Wings. Ok, je te comprends.
Are you done talking? So, will you tell us where the Stellaron is?
Allez, ça me dit.
It is the Penacony Grand Theater itself.
Ah oui!
As I suspected, It's the embodiment of the family. The edifice that first materialized.
As for the person who employed its power, it is in fact Mr. Gopherwood, the current Dream Master.
Well, that was easier than I thought. Did you conduct your...
Correct. When I was trying to track down the person who murdered my sister, apart from you.
Confronting me first.
I didn't have other options. The Dream Master has been elusive, and even the heads of the families can hardly get an audience with him. Moreover, Mr. Gopherwood has been kind to my sister and me. And I didn't want it all to end like this.
What do you mean by that?
To be honest, my brother and I are also victims of the cancer of all worlds. We grew up as orphans, and were adopted by the family when they came to help. Mr. Gopherwood recognized our potential and brought us to Penacony. But I can't just stand by and watch Mr. Gopherwood become an enemy of the Harmony. I won't use my voice to support an evil cause. I won't step on that stage and sing, no matter who the traitor is, or what orders they give me. I won't let the Charmony Festival become an event that destroys Harmony itself, or the paradise in our dreams.
Indeed. For the paradise in our dreams. As the head of the Oak family, I'm responsible for ensuring Penacony's promising future. Robin and I will head into the sweet dream and I'll fight alongside you. We'll put the Charmony Festival on hold and make sure Mr. Gopherwood pays for his blood debt.
The enemies you are about to face aren't like this old dog here, who can barely even bark. Since our interests are aligned, why don't we team up?
We have always been following in the footsteps of our nameless predecessors. And there's no reason to stop now.
Yeah, we Nameless won't back down from a challenge. Isn't that right, Mr. Trailblazer? Come on, don't crack jokes at such a serious moment.
Oh, ça va?
Rest assured, sitting on the sidelines isn't in our nature. Mr. Sunday, Miss Robin, I'm willing to accompany you on behalf of the Astral Express. Having a third-party present should help with negotiations. And could make all the difference if things get ugly.
Thank you, Mr. Yang.
Thank you all very much.
The Charmony Festival is about to start, and time is against us.
Everyone, let's gather over here. We still need to make some preparations.